Well, this is different. Welcome to a new type of video where I talk about video games. But these aren't just any old games. These are retro games. Look at that. So this stack of 10 games is what I've been up to in the past month. Kind of reliving my childhood, getting some old classics that I missed out on the 360, Wii, and GameCube. And if you stick around to the end, there might just be a fancy little unboxing for you all. So if you want to guess what's in the package, feel free. It is related to video games. You know, whoever guesses right gets a cookie, all right? There's actually one thing I want to do before we start, so just bear with me for a second here. Okay, I've always wanted to do that thing where you close all the cases at once, so we'll see if it's really satisfying. I'm gonna turn the volume up for some ASMR here. That was okay. Alright, forget all that. Let's get to the games. As you can see, first we're starting with Skate 3. I picked up my girlfriend and her sister's 360 from their house, and they had a couple games, but I wanted to pick up one of my own games for myself, so I headed on over to the old GameStop, as you can tell, and they didn't really have much good stuff, but they did have Skate 3, which was a game that I wanted to get and play at some point. Certified pre-owned, of course, no case, but they did have the game. No manual, obviously. It doesn't matter. It's all about skateboarding. It's kind of harder than I thought it was going to be. Like, you have to be pretty precise with your inputs and everything. It's not Tony Hawk, but I had a fun time. I played it for like probably 10 hours like that first week, and it just felt like a really good first game to play on the 360. I honestly don't know if I've ever really used a 360 before, but I really like the Hall of Meat challenges specifically, even though it's kind of messed up. But as you can see, I got it for $10, which is fine. That's probably what it's going for, whatever. I just wanted to go get a game in person and kind of have that experience again, but I probably will not be going back to GameStop. But there's Skate 3, yeah. Now we're moving on to two games that my girlfriend had and played as a kid. These were the only games they had along with Modern Warfare 3, but Rayman. So we started with Rayman Origins, obviously, because that one came out first, and this game is so much fun. The music is so good, the levels. We got The Adventures of Tintin, the game, if any of you are interested in that. Yeah, I've really loved doing the tricky treasures, specifically. It's kind of like a timed level where you're being chased. Those are really fun. We got all of them except for the last one. Yeah, I was playing as Rayman, and my girlfriend was playing as one of the teensies, and I tried Glowbox, but he's a little slow. I don't know if he's actually slower, but he feels slow. This is just such a freaking classic game, and it's kind of funny, like, right as I was playing through these games, they announced the remake or remaster of Rayman Legends, which I think is coming out in 2027. Playing through this in co-op was a really, really fun experience. I would recommend it if you can get it. I mean, it's on PS4, Xbox One, and PC, so you can get it anywhere. It's probably pretty cheap, but it's just a great platformer. It's got some fun stuff, some tricky stuff. It's just good balance of everything. Then we took a quick break and jumped right into Rayman Legends. So this one's interesting. It's like the same but different, but more stuff to do. There's like daily challenges, there's like scratch card loot boxes, which get really annoying, and there's just like stuff to collect and characters to unlock. For the actual game itself, it was kind of funny because I feel like it started off worse. Like Rayman Origins, I think, had a really strong start. Like I really liked the first two levels, and this one, I didn't enjoy the first level, but I think it got better towards the middle. We got Smurfs 2, Les Schtroumpfs 2, and Los Pitufos 2, so if you want to see that movie, very fun. But overall, like, great game to play in co-op, especially since you die, like, the other person can revive you. If I had to pick one of these two games, I would just say Origins, but you can play through Rayman Origins in Rayman Legends if you collect stuff to unlock the levels, though. But Rayman Origins is just, like, instant classic. And here's a fun one. This is a double pack, Platinum Hits. I did not play Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts yet. I'm very interested in that one because I didn't realize it was like, I think, a vehicle building game. Like, I don't really know. I didn't look up anything about it. I just got this because I wanted to play Viva Piñata. Yes, sorry, I don't have like studio lighting in here, so it's just like glares and shadows and whatever. But Viva Piñata is a very freaking weird game. We got the double disc. I mean, that's just fun. You don't get that with your Steam games. But this is a garden building game where you have to kind of like figure out how to attract certain creatures to your garden by putting in, you know, shelters for them and planting food and whatever. And this is the Banjo-Kazooie thing. Who knows? Maybe I'll make another video about Banjo-Kazooie. I think because it's the platinum hits, they have like this thick manual and it's in color. You know, before I got a chance to play this, I was just looking through the manual like, yo, this is so fun. Like, I almost got that feeling of opening your game in the car or whatever, coming home from GameStop and just being so excited to play it. But yeah, this game is fun, and I think it probably inspires some games in the future about this like garden building, creature collecting kind of thing. But really, it's a pain to navigate the menus. You're in menus so much in this game, and then just having it on a controller kind of sucks. And it's really interesting. It's kind of a tough game. Like, there's a lot of chaos going on in the garden that you have to figure out how to keep your animals from fighting and how to, I don't know, how to get them to breed and how to get them to not eat each other. But it feels like one of those games I probably would have given up on as a kid, but like I can kind of appreciate more what it's doing now as an adult. But I don't know, we'll see about nuts and bolts here. I feel like it's also kind of divisive, maybe, game. But I think this packaging is super cool, and I honestly like how it has this gray case. I don't know, it's just very hefty, and there you go, Viva Piñata. Check it out. And now we're getting into the GameCube/Wii. So these are mostly games that I had as a kid, including SSX Tricky. It looks like I had good taste. Apparently I got this from GameStop for $2.99. There's no date on here. I remember we would play this at my cousin's house on the PS2, and my sister wanted to get it. And so then when I found out we could play GameCube games on the Wii, we got it, $3. This is such a fun snowboarding game, and it's fun multiplayer, but it's really tough to see, honestly, with the split screen, and then there's just like very sharp curves and everything, so it's tough to see, but fun. I mean, there's not much to say about this game. Like, everyone says that this is 100% the best SSX game, one of the best extreme sports games probably of that era, and just, you know, crazy tracks, crazy tricks, crazy riders. I would always play as Mac. I don't know why. I guess I just really resonate with that guy. He's just a chill guy, you know? It's Mac. There's Elise. I forget what's this guy's name, Toby or something. I would say it's one that you should have in your collection if you have a PS2 or, I don't know if this was on Xbox or a GameCube. SSX Tricky. Look at that. It's got that shiny cover and everything. Now we have another game that I had as a child. Ty the Tasmanian Tiger for GameCube. Also $2.99 at GameStop. I guess I went on a bit of a spending spree when I figured out you could play GameCube games. We got it in this ugly ass case, but you know, the game is intact. I really like the Australian theme. I think that's pretty fun, but the platforming I don't think holds up that well. You can control the camera, but it's like really wonky. It's okay, but I would just rather play something else. But my memories of it did not match my experience of playing the game today, but you know, that's okay. No one's perfect, but Ty the Tasmanian Tiger, it's alright. And then we have Dust Bunny, Peter Jackson's King Kong, the official game of the movie. I did not have this one as a kid. I actually got it recently on Facebook Marketplace, but the person was having a yard sale at the same time, so it was $5. Original case and everything. No manual. This is another one that I didn't finish and I gave up on because I feel like I just kind of saw everything there was to see. It's this really interesting half first-person shooter, and like you have a spear for the other half of it, so you kind of want to like save your bullets. So it almost is like a little bit reminiscent of a survival horror game or just like a survival game, but there aren't really any survival elements. But you're kind of in this jungle, you're picking up spears, you're throwing them at animals, you're like stabbing them. Don't do that. Okay, you're stabbing grubs with your spears and like throwing it to distract animals, and there's some like dinosaurs and stuff and like some very light puzzles and some stealth sections, but it's an interesting game. And you can also play as Kong. Play as man, play as Kong. I don't think that the Kong sections are that great. It's probably one that I'll hang on to just because I got it for $5. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I saw what there was to see in it. That's King Kong. Not bad. I would say it, honestly, it kind of holds up a little bit more than Ty the Tasmanian Tiger. Alright, then we are going back to the 360 for a minute with something controversial. Silent Hill HD Collection. I picked this up on eBay. It was like 20 or 25 bucks, but usually I feel like they're going for 30, 35 disc only and like 40 plus complete in box. But I really just wanted to play Silent Hill, and I know that this is probably not the best way to play Silent Hill 2. This is Silent Hill 2 and 3. I've only played 2. But people say that the version of 2 that is on this is like alright. I feel like I could probably talk a lot about this, but it's a good game, and I totally understand like why Silent Hill 2 is Silent Hill 2, like why it is perceived the way it is. And now I like the clunky controls. Like I can do tank controls, and I get that you're in this limbo land and you're kind of like lost and stuff, but the opening was cool, but after that, the freaking apartment complex section is just so awful. Like you're just in these hallways back and forth, like every room looks the same, and I almost quit a couple points during that, but I'm glad I didn't because it does get better with the hospital and some of the later areas. I ended up using a guide after a couple hours because there's a lot of items that you can't see. Like I was like, I literally didn't see that. I was like, oh, go pick this thing up off the table in this room, and I was like, I went in that room, like I got everything there was to get. But this is a good game for sure. People say that the version of 3 in this collection is bad, so I mean, I'll probably try it out. I mean, I definitely liked it, but I am a Resident Evil girly. I'm glad that I played this game. I feel like it gives me good context for, you know, more modern survival horror type games that I have played. But that is the Silent Hill HD collection. Alright, and now we're down to our last 2 games, however they are both very good. We're starting with Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights, which is pretty much agreed upon that this is the best Scooby-Doo game ever, I think, or at least from this generation. This is GameCube. This is my copy that I got new, I believe, when I was going through my GameCube kick. This is also one that I remember playing at someone's house, I believe on PlayStation, a lot earlier in my childhood, and I just remembered, I was like, I think that game was good. And then I got it, and I was like, oh my god, this game is good. And then I'm playing through it now, and I'm like, wow, this game is actually really good. So basically, it's like a Scooby-Doo Metroidvania. Because you have all these, like, you know, power-up and items, like you have these springs that let you double jump, and you have a football helmet that lets you dash, and you're collecting all these inventions around this spooky mansion and the grounds and the docks around it and everything. And it's just so much fun. It's got that Scooby-Doo, like, spooky, but also it has like laugh tracks, and it's got those cartoon sound effects. See, here's all the power-ups. Your health items are like cake and sandwiches and just very Scooby-Doo stuff. Plunger boots, you got all this stuff. The platforming is like not bad. You don't control the camera. It almost, a lot of times it's almost a side scroller, like you're going down hallways, but it is 3D, so you can kind of move back and forth. You can see like here, you know, there's like a hedge maze part, so you'd be like walking side to side scroller, and then when you go up here, it's like a Crash Bandicoot kind of point of view. But I think this game is great, and I'm still working on it. I gotta finish it up before I get to whatever is in the mystery box that I talked about. They got a lot of advertisements for Scooby-Doo stuff. We got the Mystery Machine, plushie, new Scooby-Doo series. Oh, I remember this being on TV. What's new, Scooby-Doo? This is why it's fun to have the manuals, but I'm not like obviously I'm not a super stickler about that, because I have like half of these games don't even have the original art. But great game. It's on PS2 and GameCube, and I'm not sure if it's on Xbox, but I would highly recommend it. It holds up today. And last, you might have seen it in the beginning. It might have stuck out to you because that is Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. This is also one that I had as a kid, and it's I think it's the only Wii game so far that I've really dived into, besides a little bit of Mario Kart, but we all know that one. Now, I'm not sure if I ever finished this game as a kid because my save was at like 500 hours, so I guess I left the Wii on overnight. It's just Zelda, you know, like whenever you play a Zelda game, you kind of know what you're in for. But I love specifically like how moody this one is. It kind of reminds me of like Dark Souls, Elden Ring. There's this part in the beginning where you first meet Midna, and have transformed into a wolf, and you're like escaping this prison, and then you're on the rooftops. And it just reminds me of an Elden Ring, that part when you're on the rooftops. Like, it's just so dark for a Zelda game. I feel like this one's gonna take me a while to get through, but I'm playing Scooby-Doo, and then you'll see shortly what else I may be playing in the future. But oh, look at that freaking cover art, that's amazing. The one thing is, I'm like, I don't know if I love the motion controls, like, since you have to shake the Wiimote to use your sword, that can get kind of tiring and annoying, but I think it's also then good for when you are using bow and arrow or slingshot and stuff like that, and you can just aim at the TV. So, you know, for whatever price this is, I think the Wii version is probably cheaper than GameCube, so that's good, and makes me want to play some of the other older Zelda games. Wind Waker's a little pricey. I had a copy of Wind Waker as a kid when I was going through my GameCube phase. I had Wind Waker and Super Mario Sunshine, and I sold them, and I checked on eBay, and I had sold them for $50 total, and now they go for like $50 and $60 each, something like that. So that was a bad move as a kid. But these are all the games that I have been playing. I've been having a lot of fun just playing on my old consoles. And let's get to the mystery box. Well, as you have seen, here is the mystery package with my address covered up in a way that kind of matches the rest of the vibe here. I've had an eBay account for like almost 10 years. I've literally never had an issue with packaging ever. There's like 6 inches of space above that needed some packaging clearly to absorb the blows sustained by the USPS. But let's open this. One great thing is that I'm not even gonna need scissors to open the box, so I think we can probably just give it a tear. Honestly, I'm less worried about it working and more worried about everything not being in here. You know, at least it makes it for good content. Oh, goodness. Okay. It is a PlayStation 4 Pro. You know, it still looks like it's in pretty good condition. It hasn't suffered any major freaking catastrophes. We'll see if it works. Alright, you know, honestly, it looks like all the games are in here. Came with 6 games. And okay, everything's in here. Everything's in here. DualShock 4 and a cord. I mean, they tried, but like clearly. Oh, what is this? We got that. Okay, so that is the one casualty. You know, controller looks alright. A little dusty. Don't know what that is. We got Ghost of Tsushima, Red Dead 2. I have played this one, but I'd play it again. Bloodborne, which I'm very excited for. These cases are so freaking small. I forgot how small they were. I used to have a PS4 back in the day, but I got rid of it. Nier Automata, Elden Ring, and Final Fantasy 15, which I'm very curious about because this is the one that's got like the Porsche or whatever in it. I don't know. There's my PS4 Pro. I am very excited. God, I hope it freaking works. Okay, here we have it all plugged in. Juniper is very curious about this. She likes it though, I think. What do I do? Is it a button? Is it just like a hope and pray? Okay, wait, apparently you're just supposed to hold that. Okay, it worked. So we got a light. Juniper, what do you think about that? And there we go. Cool. It works. I'm kind of surprised, but also glad that I didn't just waste my money. Okay, bye.